Let's look at an example now, since we need to do many examples to get used to this. So I have I have sketched this. So here we have A, B, C, D is a square of length A. A is the length. So say A, B equals to A. Right? This is a square. And on each side there will be forces. So 2 newtons acting on AB, which means from A to B, right? So we have to mention the arrowhead like this. From B to C, on BC side, 2 newtons. C to D, 4 newtons. And D to A, 4 newtons, right? And in addition to that, there will be another force, 4 root 2 newtons acting on the diagonal DB from D to B, right? So I'll just write down these things. AB equals 2 Newton, BC equals 2 newtons, CD equals 4 newtons, DA equals 4 newtons, and DB equals 4 root 2 newtons, right? So you have to sketch this according to the given details. So make sure you sketch it right. So if the force is given as BC, then you have to mention the arrowhead such that the arrow goes from B to C, from B to C. So this is the first step. First step is to sketch the correction, right? Now you are asked to find R, what is the resultant force, and the couple, right? What is the couple and the resultant force? Couple, so they ask you to take AB and AD as X and Y axis of the coordinate plane. And finally, they are asking for the equation of line of action. What is the equation of line of action? So you know that the equation of line of action is sorry about that. The equation of the line of action is G minus capital Y simple X plus capital X simple Y is equal to 0. This is the line of action. Okay, so in order to find the resultant force, you need to find the components in the X direction and the Y direction, right? So this X is this, the Y here is this Y, right? So make sure you are already familiar with it. So how do you find the forces at X direction to X? So I'm taking this as the positive forces. So you can exclude 4 Newton and 2 newtons, but you have 2 newtons minus 4 newtons plus, so since this is a square, you know this, the angle here is 45 degrees. So 4 root 2 cos 45. So this gives you minus 2 plus 4 root 2 into 1 over root 2, that gives you 4. So minus 2 plus 4, that gives you plus 2 newtons. Okay, right. So in Y direction, you can exclude 2 newtons here and 4 newtons there. You have 2 newtons minus 4 newtons minus 4 root 2 cos or sine 45, whatever you choose, doesn't matter since this is 45 degrees. So this gives you minus 2 and here minus 4, that gives you minus 6 newtons. So what is R? R is the square root of x squared plus y squared. That gives you 2 squared plus squared. 4, this is 36, so you get root 40. Okay. Now you have found the resultant. What about G? So I'm gonna find G, and I'm gonna take the point on which I'm taking all the moments as A. I'm going to take A as the origin. So A is the origin here. So I'm going to take all the moments about A here. So G is equal to 2 newtons, and 4 newtons can be excluded since they are going through A. What are 4 newtons? So 4 newtons, that gives you an anticlockwise moment. So plus 4 into A, because the side length of the square is A, plus, and again 2 newtons, that gives you 2 into A. What about this? 4 root 2 newtons. So you have to find the perpendicular distance. Since this is A, AB equals A, and this is 45 degrees, you know this is A sine 45, right? A sine 45. So minus, since this is giving a clockwise moment, 4 root 2 into A sine 45. Now this gives you 6A minus 4A 2A. This is a moment, right? Now we found moment, and the resultant force here, right? Now we are finally asked to find the equation of the line of action. So you have found G here, you found Y and X, you just substitute the values. So what is G? G is 2A minus Y. What is Y? Y equals minus 6, and you put X here. Simple X, these are variables. Simple X and simple Y, these two are variables of the equation. Plus X will be 2, Y equals 0. So altogether 2A plus 6X plus 2Y equals 0. So 2 is a common factor, that gives you A plus 3X plus Y equals 0. This is the line of action. Okay. So I'm gonna stop at this, and we'll continue with another example in the next video. Thank you.